Hey everyone, here we are again, another battle report for you. This one's a little bit out of order. The last battle report I posted was a game played on the 31st, New Year's Eve. This game was actually played the day before that. Not sure why I did them out of order, but here you go anyway. This will be a game between my Brotherhood and Dwarves, or Dwarfs, depending on which side of the pond you're on. And we're going to be playing the scenario Ransack. Apologies again, I'm working on my models, but like I said, this was already before the last battle report. And my opponent has just started to assemble his dwarf army, and so he's got a few proxies, and this is just 1,500 points, and he's got nothing painted. But here's our deployment. We're playing Ransack. So Ransack has one, not loot counter, an objective marker in the middle of the table, right on the edge of the pond there. It's a white stone or gem. That's worth 3 points at the end of the game. There are two objective markers that are worth 2 points each. They are the blue markers on the table. There's one in the upper left and one in the bottom right that's covered by some trees in the forest there. And then there are 4 red objective markers that are worth 1 point each. So we have our deployment here. I've got my normal flying shenanigans in this game. So I've got Order of the Forsaken Knights on the far left, represented by some Griffin models. I've got my Abyssal Hunt Knights on the hill. Then Villain Reconnoiterers, which are a light, fast cavalry represented by some lion miniatures. Then I've got 2 units of foot knights, the Order of the Brotherhood on foot. Those are the black, unpainted models. And in between them, as usual, is my Villain Martyrs Horde, followed by a Devoted with Martyr's Prayer and an Inspiring Talisman. It's just a given for me, and you're going to see that in pretty much every list I play. I love this formation. And then in the forest on the far right is my Exemplar Forsaker. I'm going to do my best to remember what the dwarves are. So going from left to right at the top, he's got a king with Wings of the Honey Maze. And then Rangers, a regiment of Rangers in the forest there. Next to them is just a base, no models on it, and that is War Beasts or Hunting Pack. I think it's called a Hunting Pack. And then next to them are Shield Breakers, the two-handed dwarves in a regiment. Behind them are some sharpshooters, and then next to the Shield Breakers, in front of the sharpshooters, is a horde of Earth Elementals. On the hill, he's got 2 organ guns, which are nasty. Further to the right, we've got a just dwarf warriors, or I think they're called Ironclad, just the basic infantry unit. And then a greater Earth Elemental, and behind him, you can't really see it, is a Stone Priest. Or, excuse me, the Stone Priest, I think, is behind the horde of regular Earth Elementals, that's right. The greater Earth Elemental on the far right is all by his lonesome. So I get first turn. I think he won the roll and made me go first, which is smart because he wants to get the objectives at the end of the game, have last say of it. So usual to my style here, play very aggressively, just charging on forward. I neglected to mention, because it was hidden in the picture, that I've got another unit on the far right of Flying Knights, the Order of the Forsaken, represented by some eagles. So I've got him surrounded right off the bat here, moving far forward. In his turn, he takes advantage of some charges. His hunting pack, I think that's what they're called, charge my lions, my Villain Reconnoiterers, and doesn't rout him off the table, so he just bounces back there, moves his Shield Breakers and his Rangers up, repositions his Ironclad and Greater Earth Elemental, but giving him plenty to think about since I'm kind of flying around the sides and behind him. One thing he did do that was good and tripped me up was, and I knew it was going to happen, is his Dwarf King has the Wings of Honey Maze, so he charged my Forsaken Flying Knights on the far left, and does a couple of wounds, but that disorders them so they can no longer fly and they no longer have Nimble. So they're going to be stuck there, and with the Dwarf King at defense 6 and I have no Thunderous Charge now, I'm guessing that's going to tie me up for the rest of the game, and he's probably going to end up winning that fight. But I guess at least I'm tying up the King, so the King isn't doing something else. Organ Gun blasts into my Knights, which are behind my Lions there. Almost killed him. Double volley from an Organ Gun. That'll kill most things. So I think I just got lucky on the nerve check there, and they survived, thankfully, and were not even wavered. So on my turn, he really needed to kill those Knights. They get a flank charge on his Earth Elementals. They had surged pretty far forward, more further forward than he had wanted them to move. So he's out of inspiring range from his Warsmith. Flank charge from my Abyssal Hunt Knights, and then front charge from the Foot Knights and my Martyr Horde, and that spells disaster for just about anything. My Lions, I just needed to get them out of the way, so they did a funky pivot and backstep. Since they're nimble, they can do that, and that just got out of the way so my Knights could charge in the flank of those Earth Elementals. My Eagles on the far right just swung around the back, so they're now looking at the back of his Ironclad and Greater Earth Elemental. Give him something to think about. My Exemplar Forsaker, my general, he flew into the Organ Gun on the hill, and so that'll be the end of them, and next turn get the next one. And just kept my other Foot Knights in position to protect the flank of my Martyr Horde, and that's pretty much it. So killed the Earth Elementals in the middle, which kind of sent this game downhill for the Dwarves. I forgot to mention on the far left, my Flying Knights countercharged the King, but nothing gonna happen there. So yeah, took out the Organ Gun as well on the hill. So I've got a strong hold on the center of the board. Likely going to lose my Knights because they're about to get charged from the Shield Breakers, but hey, they took out the Earth Elementals, and that's no small thing. So sure enough, on his turn, he charges the Knights and takes care of them. Over in front of the forest, he also took care of my Lions, my Villain Reconnoiterers. Not much else he could do at this point. He protects the rear flank of his Greater Earth Elemental with his Ironclad. I'll get a side charge on the Ironclad if I want it. That's very tempting. But I can't get the rear charge on the Greater Earth Elemental with that positioning. So on my turn, instead, I send my Eagles over to the other Organ Gun, and my General, the Exemplar Forsaker, Flying Monster General, he goes over to the Sharpshooters and takes them out. Well, he disorders them so they can't shoot anymore, and there's not much else they can do. In the center of the board, I just reposition my Martyrs and Foot Knights on the right there to be prepared for that Greater Earth Elemental coming our way, and maybe some Dwarves. And then my other Foot Knights on the left there are dealing with these Shield Breakers over here, but he's got his Stone Priest in the way, and I think I put a few wounds on him, but I think I wavered him or didn't do anything, not enough to kill him, so I just backed up. I was hoping I could kill him and then blow through into the Shield Breakers, but that didn't happen, so they're going to get a charge on me. And then the King is still playing with my Griffins over there. They're just kind of bouncing back and forth, but he's winning that another round or two, and he'll have them off. And sure enough, he did. So yeah, he got them off and moved his Rangers. He made a mistake here. He thought the red tokens were worth 2 points and the blue were worth 1 point, which is backwards. So he had marched his Rangers all the way to the other side on my edge of the table, and he's holding that hill over there, and he's going to be able to turn around and just take some shots from while holding that objective, but he should have stayed in the forest and held the blue objective. Double charge from his hunting pack and shield breakers onto my Brotherhood on foot, but they were able to take that charge. Another round like that, they'll probably go down. So then my martyrs, I need to think about what I'm doing with them. My Exemplar Forsaker gets countercharged from his sharpshooters, but not much going to happen there. And he continues to reposition the Ironclad Dwarves, and his Greater Earth Elemental is continuing to shamble forward. So in my turn, I was able to take out the shield breakers. I got a flank charge from my Eagles that were up on the hill. They had just killed the organ gun. They got a flank charge and a front charge from my Foot Knights. Took them out, repositioned. My General, Exemplar Forsaker, took out the sharpshooters, turned around. And then my Martyrs and my other Foot Knights there are just repositioned. So his Greater Earth Elemental could charge either one, but either one he charges, he's going to get a flank from the other one unless he takes him out, which is not likely. So got a stronghold on the center of the board here, near that 3-point objective marker. Looking good for the Brotherhood. So in his turn, he does go ahead and charge my Foot Knights with his Greater Earth Elemental, but bounces off. So I'm looking at a flank charge for my Martyrs. Unfortunately, it'll be hindered since I'm in the pond there. His infantry unit, the Ironclad, they're just moving over to the right side of the board because there's an objective over there, and there's not much else they're going to be able to do with only a turn left or so. His hunting pack, the model-less base there near the middle of the table, charged my Foot Knights, bounced off. His Stone Priest starts to be a thorn in my side. He charges my Eagles and disorders them, takes away their flying, so now they're kind of bogged down over there too. And his King has moved up into the mix. He'll be able to hit something next turn. I wasn't able to take out the Greater Earth Elemental. Got a flank charge, but hindered. I'm already hitting on 4s, so now I'm hitting on 5s. Even throwing a Bane Chan on him. That means I'm hitting on 5s and wounding on 5s. Not great. And so I put some wounds on the Greater Earth Elemental, but not near enough to kill him. I can't remember what happened here, if I didn't charge the hunting pack or if I did but just whiffed the roll or what. Nothing much happened there. So the center of the board just kind of still holding as it is. Next is the Dwarf turn. So the Greater Earth Elemental charges through my Foot Knights there, and now he's looking at an objective marker at the bottom of the screen there, so he's going to move down there likely. Not going to be able to chase him down with my Martyr Horde in the pond. I don't really want to anyway. I could charge him, but I want to stay in the middle of the table because I'm holding a 3-point objective right now. So I'm just going to stay put right there. My general is now facing his other unit. And then his King and his Stone Priest are fighting at the Eagles. Not taking them out, but keeping them disordered, so that his Rangers still hold the position on the hill over there. And I think this is where we ended. My general, instead of charging over at the unit, I just let him hold that 1-point objective. There's a blue objective marker under the forest in the bottom right there. Can't see it on the screen, but that's worth 2 points. So my general is a monster. He can hold an objective. So he just flies within 3 inches of that, and that's another 2 points for me. Martyrs stay in the middle of the table, holding the 3-point objective marker. I'm still playing with the individuals, the King and the Stone Priest, with my Foot Knights and my Eagles, but what are you going to do? The individuals can't contest or hold an objective marker, so we're just kind of going at it. Rangers keep plinking shots from the hill, but not taking anything out. Certainly not going to kill the Martyr Horde that's holding the objective marker in the center. So, sorry about that, cut off because I forgot to add my last slide here, but I just want to say thanks for watching. Another win for the Brotherhood. Could have gone differently with some little bit different tactics or different dice rolls as usual. But on a bit of a winning streak with the Brotherhood. I had a few other games that I didn't get pictures of. Played against some ogres, and that was a good game too. But hopefully we'll get some more games in here and keep the battle reports coming. Thanks for watching. Please comment. Let me know if you have any suggestions or ideas as far as tactics or anything else with the game. Would love to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching.